God damn it. I already dropped my shit. Fuck. Ah, chinga madre. Hold on. Damn it. It's already clamped and everything. Fuck it. I'm going to leave this in. Ah, damn it. The second I clapped, I dropped all my notes. And welcome to the Geeks, and Joysticks podcast. This show will talk about shows, movies, video games, and cool stuff we see during the week. I am your host, Editor Prazes, and I'm dropping a solo. Mi compias had better shit to do, and I don't blame them. So, drop it just a one-on-one with y'all, talk to y'all, see how y'all feeling, how y'all doing, was good. Thank you for watching all this time. Love y'all for sticking with me. But let's get into the news. We're going to start off with some T's and P's and RIPs. We lost a couple people this week. First, I think, that was first. During the week, we lost baseball legend Hank Aaron at age 86. One of the greatest baseball players of all time. Held a bunch of records for a long ass time until steroids, Barry Bonds came and broke him. He's fantastic. One of the greatest baseball players of all time. I think he's in most people's starting lineup, Hall of Fame of all time. If I were to say all time, I think so. I think he played right field, if I'm not mistaken. And in the entertainment news, Larry King has passed away. The Emmy and Peabody award-winning talk show host died at the age of 87. That's a big one as well. I didn't really sit down and watch Larry King, but he was such a character in his own. Just the suspenders, the haircut, the glasses, the way that he would talk. He was very easily parodied and spoofed. I want to say he was in an old school Animaniacs episode, if I'm not tripping. He's a legend in the media. His radio show was on forever, and even after it went off air, he was still doing other stuff. I don't think he ever stopped working, so kudos to him. So T's and P's and RIPs to those two legends. All right. Speaking of dead people, Microsoft has filed a patent that would allow the company to digitally revive deceased loved ones as chatbots using the individual's images, voice data, social media posts, electronic messages, and more. I don't know if I want to talk to my grandma like that, bro. Because we know it's not that. It's weird. That is weird. I guess it would help as a coping mechanism. But I wouldn't want to do that. I would pass. It's like, hey, you want to talk to Nanushka? I'm like, it's not her, fool. It's a robot. Yeah, but she's typing in the shit. My Nanushka couldn't really spell, but to start with, she didn't go to school till past I think it was elementary school anyway. I don't know. We are seeing with the deep fake, and that's a whole nother technology that's migrating and making its way into the movie world, where they're bringing up dead people and putting them on screen. I don't know why they would want this. It feels like we're falling into the Black Mirror episode even more and more and more. Isn't that a Black Mirror episode? Oh yeah, the lady orders a dead robot that was of her husband. Huh? That's like this is just a couple degrees below that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? That's scary, man. I don't know. I pass. But I can see how people, after watching that Netflix documentary, Surviving Death, a lot of people deal with death and coping. They cope different ways, so I get that. If it's going to help you, fine. I just find it a little creepy. You're talking to a computer. What's the name of that stupid cat that used to sing with a high voice? Isn't there there's a couple apps where you talk to an AI, like a Siri, but it's not Siri. It's like a chicken or a tomcat, I think is the one I'm thinking about, where you just talk to them, but you're talking to a computer. That's fucking sad. I'd rather not to talk to nobody. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. I'm poor pace. But hey, you do you, Microsoft. Except when it comes to this. So Microsoft is updating its Xbox Live pricing and dropping the 1-year subscription option as it reshuffles its online offerings. Currently, I think it's $60 for the whole year, $25 for 3 months, and I want to say like $9, I think, for a month or something like that. Their plan was to make it $11 a month, $30 3 months, $60 6 months. So a whole year would cost you $120, which is literally double what it costs now. That smells like they want people just to go over to. This is just Xbox Live. This is just to play online. I think they want them to go over to the Game Pass. Because if I'm in that situation, and it's like, hey, we're gonna double what you got now, or for $5 more, you also get the Game Pass. The Game Pass is, I've said it a million times, the Game Pass is the best deal out there when it comes to gaming services like this. But that doesn't sound correct to me. And people ride it one way or another, to the point that what I just read was later this week, and this came out today, Microsoft has reversed its Xbox Gold price hike. They announced that it's reversing its decision and will no longer change Xbox Live Gold pricing. Furthermore, free-to-play games will no longer require an Xbox Gold membership to play on Xbox consoles, which that is pretty cool as well. PlayStation does that, I believe, where you don't need an Xbox Live account to be able to play stuff for free. Yeah, that was not a good idea, bro. But kudos to them for listening to the people and pull a Sonic, like, oh, this is terrible. Okay, we won't do it. Netflix can do it because it's still worth it. You know what I mean? And especially now, with the announcement last week that we're going to get a movie every week. A movie every week. All of a sudden, even $15 doesn't even sound that bad for Netflix. But yeah, Xbox Live Gold. That would have lost people, I think. Or their strategy, they didn't stick it out to see what was going to happen. Maybe their strategy of getting people to migrate over to the Game Pass would have worked. It would have worked on me. But I don't do that. I'm a single player, bro. I don't want to play online. Well, speaking of Netflix surpasses 200 million subscribers, bruh. So basically, for every 39 me's in the earth, aka smoochers, there's one Bubbles that's paying for the bill. That's a lot. I remember past episodes where we're like, how's Netflix making money? Like this, bitch. My stupid math, right? There's 200 million subscribers around the world. Now, there's different pricings. Yeah. I just took the basic price of $9. $9 for 200 million subscribers comes out to $1.8 billion a month. Holy shit. That's a lot of motherfucking dollars, man. That's a lot of dollars. No wonder they're putting out a movie every month. And there's got to be people that, like, at one point, they could, I guess not. I'm trying to think, like, will you run out of subscribers? Is that possible that everybody in the world has an account for that? There's got to be people. I mean, we're smoochers, right? In this household, we smooch off of everybody. But if Bubbles like, I don't want it anymore. I'm like, hold on. Let's go halvesies, or I'll fuck it, I'll pay. Because Netflix is good, man. And it's only going to get better. That is pretty insane. Shout outs to Netflix. If you only had this information and you go back to like the 90s and invest in all this stock of all this shit, man, Just with Google, you'd be fucking dope. Netflix, damn. That's a lot of people. 200 million people. Fuck. Anyway, we talked about Microsoft. My transition was supposed to be PlayStation, but I talked about Netflix, so that thought came into my head. But fuck it, let's go back to gaming. PlayStation's rumored new San Diego-based studio is working to expand upon existing franchises. There's a bunch of San Diego studios. I think the one that did Days Gone is called Bend, if I'm mistaken. The studio behind MLB The Show is also in San Diego, so that's nice. I like that. My stupid ass should be like a janitor or something. I clean toilets to just try to peek around and see, hey, what y'all working on? Get out of here. Hey, hold on. What was that? Let me see. Let me play. Let me see. But this obviously, because it's a rumor and they're talking about expanding upon existing franchises, it gets your mind going. What the fuck are they working on? We already know God of War is coming, and that's Santa Monica Studios. That's a whole different thing. It's not The Last of Us. It's impossible for it to be The Last of Us. The only thing that comes to mind right away is Uncharted. That's one of the only things other than the movie. That property has been chilling. They haven't really done anything or hinted at anything in the gaming realm. Infamous also comes to mind. That's been in a while. Every time there's a new console, we got a new Infamous. For the PlayStation 3, there was two Infamy. And in the PlayStation 4, there was only one. There was DLC. Now with the PS5, maybe they'd be looking to drop another one. I like that they changed the character from 3 to 4. Would I want a different character? I wouldn't mind it. It could be a chick. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. Infamous is I feel like it's an underappreciated franchise, to be honest. You're a superhero, man. You're jumping everywhere. You got powers. I still remember they were like the only ones, and this was early on, that tried to do something completely different with the motion controls and the gamepad from the PlayStation 4 controller. Hold on. I remember around the maps there would be like, you have to graffiti shit, right? So they made you hold the controller like this, pull down the trigger, and write on the TV the outlines or color shit in like you're graffitiing, using the trigger as a spray. That was the only crazy thing that I've seen a game force you to literally hold the controller a different way to do. And this was early on in the PlayStation 4. I didn't see any other studios try to do that. I was impressed. Like, wait, what? And they got me excited because I was like, okay, more games are going to try to do this, which they didn't. I feel like it's a feature that is underused. They didn't really take advantage of it. And I got a big ass hand too, and this doesn't feel uncomfortable. This feels right. And they made you shake it, and there's a microphone, and it sounds, and you spray shit. That was fucking dope. So, as much as I love Uncharted, I think I would much rather have a new Infamous, to be honest, if I were to put my 2 cents in there. An Infamous lady. Sure. Can even be a black lady. Let's throw some diversity in there. We run around a city. The last one was Seattle. The first one, I don't remember where it was. I think it flip-flopped. At one point, you were like in New Orleans, I think. I remember some kind of bayou setting. I don't want to do New York. New York is done over. Let's do some other country. I don't know. London. Well, we did London with that one. I don't know. Fucking make it, man. Infamous would be dope. Hell yeah. So let's close out the trifecta of the video game kings. We talked about Microsoft, talked about Sony. What the fuck Nintendo doing? I didn't think so, but Nintendo's doing pretty fucking fantastic. In the US, the Switch was the best-selling hardware platform in 2020 and had the best second highest sales in a console year. Had the second best sales in a console year, only behind Wii's $2008 series. The Switch accounted for 87% of all consoles sold. Nintendo also accounted for almost 50% of all boxed game sales last year. And Japan, I will 100% credit this to Animal Crossing. The 87% of all consoles is a Japan stat. I would 100% account that to Animal Crossing. I can't believe. I can't believe. But it's not really shock. What the fuck am I trying to say? I underestimated the power of Animal Crossing for us. People who don't play love Animal Crossing. Quote unquote non-gamers. People who are like, I don't want to run around and shoot. Oh, but I get a house and I get to decorate it however the fuck I want. And I go collect crops and chop down trees and go fishing and do all this other shit. I'm sure I'm down. I'm locked up in quarantine. Fuck it. I'll go do that. Corona was probably the best thing for Animal Crossing for us. It was in contention for Game of the Year. It doesn't grasp my attention at all. I couldn't give a single fuck about it. Damn, my skin is almost as white as a t-shirt. God damn. Yeah, it doesn't. That gameplay doesn't grasp me at all. The Farmville, that's old school Facebook Zynga. Shout out. Stardew Valley, all those Sims to an extent. Those games don't grasp me at all. I need a story, and there is a story that I get it. It's just repetition. The game is made for you to come back and play it every day. It's almost like a mobile game to an extent. But the power of Animal Crossing is pretty great. It's huge. The Wii was crazy too. I'm trying to think what was the big selling point of the Wii. It could be just that the opening slate of games were pretty great. I'm trying to think if it was Twilight Princess, Mario Galaxy, and even the game that it came with, Wii Sports, was a pretty big deal because I don't think there wasn't anything out there with that technology where you swing at it and the screen responds to you hitting a baseball, bowling. Like my mom was playing bowling, like, you know, the Nintendo is literally the family console, and it's been that since the beginning, and it's staying and it's continuing that road, while PlayStation and Xbox are going through the other road of bigger, bolder, and better. PlayStation, Nintendo is hanging in there with coming at it with the family vibes. But at a certain point you gotta drop. You gotta go through. You gotta go to the M for mature. Because even I'm relating it to Disney. Disney is the happiest place on earth. Disney is kid family friendly, but once in a while they'll throw in something like a Mandalorian, which is not really for kids, but it's also for kids. It's weird. Is Mandalorian PG-13? I think it is because of the violence. Even the Avengers, they're superheroes, but they're grittier than they used to be. I feel like Nintendo needs to probably step it up in that department. It would help that they would have better hardware. I think their controllers, their Joy-Cons are in a lawsuit right now because false advertising and all this other bullshit. I don't even know what false advertising is. It's not all false advertising. I made that up. I didn't read the article. I just read the headline. It was good. Journalism. But yeah, I feel like they need to step. They don't have to move away from family friendly, but you need to kind of try to get that base of 17, 18 and older audience. Try to get them over here. I believe that's my 2 cents, but what the fuck do I know? I know nothing nearer. What I do know, did that one. Okay. What I do know is that there will be a Willy Wonka prequel coming in 2023. Y'all know how I feel about release dates. They literally have a date. It will be titled Wonka. It's a prequel. We mentioned it before that it was in the works. Now we are getting a bigger sense as to what it is. We already got a release date. It's not cast yet. This is my fucking problem, man. Why y'all do this? It's got a release date. Wonka will hit in theaters March 17th, 2023. Y'all don't have a cast yet. What? Wait, what? Why? I guess if I'm an investor, I don't want you to just take your sweet ass time. I want my money in return. But still, like, this doesn't help you. You're going to delay it. You're going to delay it. Let me tell you right now. Yeah, it's 2 years out. You're probably going to delay it. It's safer to go early 2023 than 2022. I get it. It's actually really, really far out. It's 2 years. Anyway, I already ranted about that last week. But this is going to hail from Paddington director Paul King and Harry Potter producer David Heyman. The studio describes it as focusing on a young Willy Wonka and his adventures prior to opening the world's most famous chocolate factory. Timothy Chalamet and Tom Holland, Spider-Man was good, are reportedly in the running to play a young Willy Wonka. Let's do something that we love to do in this show. It is casting. I love to do castings. I love it. I should be a casting director. It's my favorite thing to do. Timothy Chalamet, he good. I like him as an actor. I don't think I've seen him in anything jolly and fun. I don't know what the tone is for this. We saw some of his origins in the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka, where his dad is a dentist and shit. So I don't know if we're gonna go through that or we're gonna go through the books. I don't know exactly where we're going. I don't know the tone that we're trying to take. Are we trying to do something fun or we're trying to do something scary? I don't know. But Timothy Chalamet, can't remember if I've seen him in anything jolly and fun. Dune, but I feel like he's kind of dry. You know what I'm saying? Do we want a Willy Wonka to be shy and then he's going to evolve into the quirky, fun-loving guy with the dark side that we see in the original? I don't know what tone you're at, but regardless, I like Timothy Chalamet. He cool. Tom Holland, he's in everything. So he's great. I like him. I think he's already in like 4 or 5 movies just at the top of the dome, not counting Uncharted, not counting Spider-Man. I wouldn't want him as Willy Wonka. I want to take a break. I'm not sick of him, but I don't want to get sick of him. If he's also Willy Wonka, it's like, goddamn, son. Like, all right. I mean, you get fucking paid, son. Don't get me fucked up. But at the same time, I don't want to get sick of Tom Holland. I know they got big names, but let me throw my 2 cents out here. Y'all ready? Okay. These are not huge names, but when I saw their picture, I was like, okay, I can see a Willy Wonka's. My first one is Asa. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Asa Butterfield. If you're like, who the fuck is that? This is the main kid from Sex Education. He's been a kid actor for a while now. I forget the other thing that he was in. He was like in some space stuff, and he's running around doing a bunch of shit. I like him. He plays. He I don't know. He's under 25, but he can play a teenager. He can play any range you want. Slap some makeup on him. He can play whatever. I think he's great. He can play funny. He can play quirky. He can play anything you want. I think he's great. That's my number one. Asa Butterfield. Give him some chance. Give him some shine. He could have also played. I think I read something that he was in the running also to play Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So since you beat him out for Spider-Man, give him Willy Wonka. Come on, that's my mom. Come on, share. Come on, let's share, dog. Come on. Let Asa Butterfield do Willy Wonka. My number 2, I only got 2 for these, is Isaac Hempstead Wright. If you're like, who the fuck is that? I'd be like, oh, put him in a wheelchair, and then, no, you don't remember? And you're like, no, I still don't remember. It's this brand from Game of Thrones. That's how my mama says it. Game of Thrones. I haven't seen him really in anything other than Game of Thrones. This would be cool for him. He's also a great actor. This would be another cool character he can chew on. He's a little bit more darker than Asa. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, bro. I've never heard it mentioned. But I believe he can do it. I'm looking at the old school Willy Wonka. They got the same facial structure. I like it. Either one of those two, even if it's Timothy Chalamet and Spider-Man Tom Holland's, I'm down for this movie. Even though I've hated it, it's fucking prequels, bullshit, okay, unnecessary, think of new shit. But I'm a hypocrite. I watch it. I don't care. I'll be down. Those are my two Willy Wonka castings. Leave a comment down below on the YouTubes, on the slide in the DMs, on the Instagrams. Who y'all think should play Willy Wonkas? I'm curious. I feel like I'm good at this. Bubbles and everybody else in the world would disagree, but I like my picks. I wanted to do something with casting, but as by myself, I can't really play that game. But hopefully next week I bring the boys back in the studios, and we can do that. It'll be fun times. Anyway, let's move on to Le Trailer Talks. There's a handful of weird, cool, and interesting things that were dropped this week. First one from Netflix. It's called Animal on Loose, a You versus the Wild interactive movie. Netflix has done a few of interactive movies, Bandersnatch being the most popular one, I think. I'm missing some other ones. Fuck, I can't think of it. But this is starring Bear Grylls. So when wild animals escape a sanctuary, Bear Grylls and you must pursue them and secure their protective habitat. An interactive special. The trailer shows him running away from a lion, and you have to pick whether or not you want to climb up a tree or hide underneath the car. The other one, he has a snake wrapped around his neck, and you have to pick whether you want to go underwater to see if he'll let go, or power struggle and force him, try to rip him off your neck. The one was like dive into a cliff or some other stuff, just scenarios like that. I don't know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it's like I do want would like more of these interactive movies, but it needs to be done right. And like the material needs to be beefy enough for you to chew on. It's a good idea. I don't know if I personally will be partaking in it. Bear Grylls is a nature phenomenon survivalist guy. He I don't know how he's not been killed. I don't think he's done crazy shit like drink his own piss and run away from aminals and all that good stuff. He cool. I'm just not a fan. If I'm a fan, I would see myself like loving this. But I am not. So it's going to be a pass for me, but I do want more. If I'm hearing good things, I might hop on it, but I do want more interactive movies. It's tricky to do. Bandersnatch did it pretty perfectly. They did it easily enough where when you make a choice and it's the wrong choice, they take you back to a certain checkpoint where you don't have to rewatch a whole lot of the movie. It was pretty fluid where you can just do the whole thing and do all the options on one sitting. Bandersnatch was brought to us by the same people behind Black Mirror, one of my favorite shows of all time. God damn, I'm white. And it was great. I want more of that. Even if it's from Black Mirror, that would be great. But like I said, the subject, the theme has to be strong enough to, hold our attention. I don't know if running away from lions is strong enough. Maybe something in space. Would be cool. I don't know why Machete Kills came to my head. Wasn't there like a third one? Or no, the last one they ended up going to space. I don't know why that came up to my head. I'm trying to think. Somehow violence in these scenarios is what melds better with interactive movies. Why am I burping? I haven't even eaten nothing. Oh, that's why, because I have my stomach empty. Anyway, speaking of space, dog. This is also from Netflix and it's called Space Sweepers. It's an upcoming South Korean space opera film directed by Jung So-hee, starring Song Joong-ki and Kim Tae-ri and Jin Seong-kyun and Yo Hyjin, regarded as the first Korean space blockbuster. It is set to release on Netflix February 5th, 2021. I'm a lazy fuck, so I don't want to read, y'all. Y'all feel me? I don't want to read when I'm watching a movie. That's why I was so hesitant to watch Parasite. I was like, yeah, it's good, but I gotta sit there and fucking read, man. I don't want to do that. But it's worth it because it's dope. So this kind of looked like it was giving me kind of CW vibes. I thought it was going to be a series for some reason. Every time something Netflix comes up, my first thought is series, which is weird. I don't know if y'all think of that. When it's like a Netflix trailer, half of the trailer I'm trying to figure out whether it's a movie or is it a series. And whether or not the subject is dope or not, I'm like, oh, let it be a series, let it be a movie. And I'm always kind of wrong when it comes to, I'm like, oh no, if this is a series I don't want to watch, but it's a movie. So the first 15 seconds kind of feel and look CW-ish, but then there's a switch and it gets dope. Like, it's very colorful. It looks great. There's different languages. So they're watching something and it's in English, and then someone is talking to them in Spanish, but the cast is Korean and they're talking to them in Korean. But the main story, from what I could get, was it's like these group of bandits. They're kind of mercenaries, right? They're like 4 or 5 people, where they collect stuff and sell it for money, and then they get this thing full of like space balls in it, and inside was a children. There was a child, and then in the news they're like, "Oh, this child is children. He is dangerous. It's an android. It made it look and act like a person, but it's an android." And then all hell's break loose, and they're looking for it, and they're trying to sell it. And I was like, "Okay, all right, it was pretty all right." Space sweepers. It's cool. It looks cool. I'm gonna watch it for sure. It looks very, very crazy. It looks very, very bright. The colors look great. It caught my attention, even though I have to read through the whole thing. I don't mind it. Fuck it, eh? Because I'm not putting subtitles. No English, no Spanish. It's fucking Korea, bruh. Korea. I will read it. I don't give a fuck. It looks fun. It looks cool. February 5th. There was a handful of movies coming out February 5th. I think the Bear Grylls interactive movie was also set to come out February 5th. I'm down. Netflix didn't really. They put out one this week, but I thought I remember talking to Bubbles about it, White Tiger, I think, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. But then I was sitting there and ready to hit play, and I didn't want to watch it, so I'm gonna skip on that one. But I was trying to think, when is the movie a week coming out? I guess does that constitute as a movie a week? The White Tiger is one of them. I guess there's been a movie a week. They just haven't. They don't look that great. This one looks pretty cool. Space Sweepers. I'm down. Expect a review on what you're doing for shows. Faux shiznits. Let's move out of the Netflix trailers. This was a straight up coming to DVD fucking on demand movie, and it's called Boogie. So Alfred Boogie Chin is a basketball phenomenon who dreams of playing in the NBA. As his parents pressure him to earn a scholarship to college, Boogie must also navigate a new girlfriend, high school, on-court rivals, and the burden of expectation. My reaction of that is high school, because this fool looks 38 years old. So I was like, what the fuck, high school? Okay. So he Asian, if y'all didn't grasp from the last name Chin. This is written by Eddie Huang. If you've seen him, you probably recognize him. He's from New York. What actually is he? A chef? He's like a foodie guy. I thought he was a rapper. He has a very rapper vibe, but he's not. I've seen him in cooking shows. I think he wrote for Fresh Off the Boat, which is an ABC sitcom. Again, starring Asians, which is cool. Diversity, man. Let's get that in here. But Boogie looks interesting, looks dramatic, it looks heavy. He has this beef with a other guy from another team, and he's played by Pop Smoke, who passed away early last year. I think he was shot or something. There were so many rappers that passed away last year. It was fucking sad. It's grasped my attention mainly because of the basketball thing. Obviously, I'm not Asian, so I don't know how that is, but I would like to learn the pressures of being Asian. It is a stereotype that Asian parents want you to be doctors and all this other stuff. So that conflict of him trying to make it in the NBA and actually being successful, but there's also racism because he doesn't get picked in the park because he's like, who wants the Asian guy? But he actually comes out and balls out. That's pretty cool. His girlfriend is played by Taylor Page. I think she was in Ma Rainey's movie. Yeah, I think she was. She played Ma Rainey's Mija, actually, which is weird to say. Boogie, yeah, I don't have much to say on it because I feel like there's movies that surround that are similar to this, like drama with basketball in it. I'm trying to remember the one that was it Ben Affleck? I think it was Ben Affleck being a coach. It's kind of like whatever. The Sam Jackson one, that was good. There's a lot of drama movies with basketball. There's also comedies with basketball. Shout out to Semi Pro, probably the best basketball movie out there, next to Air Bud. But will I watch Boogie? Probably. I'm not sure if I'll remember. That's the thing. This is not like I'm not going to be waiting for it. If it comes out that like it was really good, yeah. Then I'll try to find it and give it a shot. Whether or not I'm just throwing it on my watch list right now, honestly, nah, probably not. But I am curious if there's good word of mouth, I'll come back to it and try to check it out and review it. All right, we go from the serious to the crazy shit. Let's get into the craziness part of Le Trailer Talk. This next movie is called Boss Level, and it stars Frank Grillo. What's her name? Naomi Watts, Michelle Yeoh, and Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, he's in this movie. Where the fuck did the thing go? Okay, it's a science fiction action film created by Joe Canahan and written by Canahan. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, it's right here. So, a retired military operative finds himself in a never-ending time loop on the day of his death. Yes, another time loop, Groundhog's Day theme. The trailer shows him get cut up, blown up, shot up, all the kind of forms of violence you can think of. This fool dies that way. It's not an original idea. It's definitely a different take. All of a sudden he's like, he tries to figure out, he gets a phone call by Naomi Watts, I think is his girl, and he's trying to find her. Frank Grillo, he cool. I liked him in The Purge, but I haven't really seen anything else, even though he puts out a lot of, I was gonna say B-list movies, but I don't think it even is B-list. I would say actually C-list movies. So whenever he's on something where he's kicking ass, I kind of hesitate. What was he in? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, but I hesitated, and then I saw crazy ass Mel Gibson, and he's like the bad guy. He's like, oh yeah, I put you in this loop, and he's like, what, motherfucker? And then they start fighting, and then he starts to actually give a shit and try to find out what he doing. Oh yeah, he ain't Captain America. That's right. He's trying to figure out what he doing, and then he starts to train and starts to kill these motherfuckers the same way that he was being killed. It looks like crazy fun. I don't know. I'm so on the fence on it. I'm leaning towards giving this one more chance than Boogie, honestly. I'll let Felix take the bullet on this one. He'll definitely watch it. They put Mel Gibson on the poster, but I don't know how much involvement he has in it. He seems just to be like the bad guy, like whatever. Boss Level. I don't. This makes it sound like a video game, I guess, because you're dying over and over again. So is he a video game character? Maybe he's an NPC. No, it can't be an NPC because that's like Free Guy. Maybe he's a character inside a video game, maybe? and Mel Gibson is a creator. I don't know why I'm trying to dissect Boss Level for y'all, but go watch the trailer. The trailer looks fun. It looks crazy. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of action. Frank Grillo is a great action star. I wouldn't call him star. He's a great action actor. You can't say action actor. You have to say star. He's a good action star. He cool. He buff. He's ripped as a motherfucker. He fit. God damn. I don't know how old he is, but shit, he fine. Bubbles would approve. Boss Level. I don't know. I'll let Felix bite the bullet on this one. But sticking with crazy fucks, the last movie trailer this week is called Willy's Wonderland. So when his car breaks down, a quiet loner agrees to clean an abandoned family fun center in exchange for repairs. He soon finds himself waging a war against possessed animatronic mascots while trapped inside Willy's Wonderland. Pretty much Five Nights at Freddy's. The trailer seems crazy. And for something this crazy, we need a crazy fuck to star in it. Who else? Who better than Nicolas motherfucking Cage, dog? I don't know how they got away with this without being some kind of, I don't know, plagiarism or something. Why wouldn't Five Nights at Freddy's be like, yeah, just call it Five Nights at Freddy's? This is literally Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a couple tweaks where like he's some kind of sacrifice for the animatronics to like feast or something. But this is basically Five Nights at Freddy's, man. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, unofficial Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And Nicolas Cage seems like he's talking a whole lot in this movie. We didn't know much of his backstory. Like his shit just breaks down literally in front of it. And then he's like, how about the other guy was like, all right, how about, you stay here. But some people, they're like hyping it up. Some people don't make it to the night. And the trailer's like, oh, they wanted to lock him inside with them, but they're locked inside with him. And they are fucking mascots. They're animatronic mascots. I'm too excited, man. There's a squirrel, I think. What is Willy? Willy's like a bear or a tiger. I can't really tell. There's a bear. There's a frog, I think. There's some kind of ostrich. This is basically Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know what else to say, man. Is it alligator? There's a turtle. I'm so down for this movie. I can't. I'm so down. Like, this is stupid shit. But it recognizes that it's stupid as fuck. It's really stupid. But the movie isn't like taking itself serious. Like, nah. We're not stupid. The movie's basically like, yeah, this is fucking dumb. I'm down. This is how you get my money. By not disguising what you really are. It's in your face. It's in your fucking face. It's a Five Nights at Freddy movie. Without it being called Five Nights at fucking Freddy's. I don't know why I don't know if this studio didn't try to reach out to Five Nights at Freddy. Because Five Nights at Freddy, I really didn't play it. I recognize that it was a phenomenon in its time, and it's still popping things out. It's still growing some way. So I don't understand. And the story is so deep, and the lore on it is you have to crack so many codes to figure out what you're actually doing, and it's a mess. Whatever, right? It was scary for the second. Whatever. It was what it was. So the next step for those kind of games would be a movie. They did it with Slender Man. So it would make sense, like a Five Nights at Freddy movie would be like, okay. But maybe because it's not Five Nights at Freddy's is what got me into it. Because like I said, this movie doesn't take itself serious. It's fucking Nicolas Cage killing animatronics, man. And there's blood. Somehow, do they bleed? I think they were bleeding. This is the kind of shit I'm down for. You want to talk about stupid, mind-numbing shit? Willy's Wonderland, man. Hell yeah. I'm Dizown. The most Dizownest of the Dizown that I've ever been of Dizown. I'm excited for this shit. I really, really am. Comes out February 12th. Screen Media Films. Yeah. Willy's Wonderland, man. Hilarious. I'm so down. That was great. Anyway, let's close out the Let's close out the fucking trailer talk, man. Braid farts. Capcom dropped a Resident Evil showcase. They were going to show everything they're working on in the Resident Evil realm. They dropped a new trailer for Resident Evil Village, all right, how I call it, Resident Evil 8-Age. They showed it was the same guy, Ethan Winters, and his daughter seems to be kidnapped in a castle, and there's this big elegant lady who is related to the crazy fox from the last game, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This one, they did show a moment where they're like in the basement or something, and there's like hella basement zombies coming at you. It did feel scary. It does look scary. I do hope they try to figure out my only problem with that game, with Resident Evil 7, is that you're scared for the half of the game. Then once you possess a shotgun and you figure out you could just blast these fools in the face, you're not scared anymore. Know what I'm saying? Because you just run around and blast fools in the face. Fuck it, what you gonna do? I got a shotgun. I'm gonna go Terminator on your ass and blast you in the face. Hasta la vista, motherfucker. Blast you in the face. I'm gonna go Rambo and turn around this corner without caring what happens after I turn this corner. I don't care if there's zombies. I don't care. I got a shotgun. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're not gonna do shit. I got a shotgun. Hopefully they figure out a way to still give you the shotgun, but still provide some scariness. Maybe if you turn the difficult, maybe it's on me. Maybe if I turn the difficulty up and I don't feel like I just run around and blast zombies in the face, maybe that makes it better. I don't know. I do want it to be scary. But the setting does look scary. There's woods, there's fog, there's fucking a castle, there's like these bee ladies, bee vampire bitches. They kind of reminded me of Amanda Seyfried a little bit. So they're hot. Nice. They also said that the PlayStation 5, the release date for it is May 7th, and it will come out for PlayStation 5 and 4. They didn't really mention anything about the other consoles. PlayStation 5, as of right now, there's a demo out there where you play as a maiden, but you can't really do anything. You can't really do anything. They just want you to walk around. I heard it was like literally only minutes of gameplay. They just want you to get the sense of the feel, the sense, and I heard it looks scary. They also show gameplay of him walking around, turning corners, very scary, but nothing really happened. And then they show, he gets caught by the vampire Amanda Seyfrieds, and you talk to the big boob lady, and that was about it. But then he showed another one where there's combat and you can cover yourself. The guy was like doing this. He was covering himself. He got thrown like a rock or something. He got covered. So you can cover yourself. We get introduced to the Duke, who is the merchant in this game. He's a big, fatty, gross guy. Looks pretty cool. They showed that there'll be puzzles. There'll be the same item system, and you can craft things as you can do now in these games. So yeah, the demo for it is called Maiden. It's already out for the PlayStation 5 only. It's available today, and there will be a totally separate demo for everybody else in the spring, titled something else, where you walk around doing something else. Again, this game comes out in May, so 2 months before release, everybody else gets a demo. And if everybody else can get the demo, it means that everybody else can get the game. But at the end of the showcase, it said PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So I had to Google, is this not coming out for the Xbox or what? It is, probably with a later date release date. I'm not sure. They didn't really specify. So after that little presentation on Resident Evil Village, they talked about that it's going to be Resident Evil's 25th anniversary of the first game. And with that, they're releasing Reverse. It's a Resident Evil game multiplayer to the likes of Project Resident Evil or Resi Project, whatever the project or whatever the fuck the last one was that was attached to Resident Evil 3. It's a multiplayer where you play as all the cast that you love from the Resident Evil franchise. Leon was in there. Fucking Chris, I think, was there at one point, and somebody was being the nemesis. So it's a multiplayer, and this will come with Resident Evil Village, 8-inch. The graphics look kind of comic-y. There was a lot of dots on it, kind of Borderlandsy. I don't know, but it's set to be a multiplayer where you run around as characters from the Resident Evil universe and shoot each other in the face. I wasn't interested really in the last multiplayer that they dropped. Their marketing with that was weird. They made it seem like that was like the main game, and people were like, okay, whatever, but this is not what we want. And it was like, oh yeah, this game will also feature Resident Evil 3. So that whole marketing was weird. This time around, they're straight up saying, no, this is comes with Resident Evil Village. They're trying to move over to multiplayer. I don't know. Because it's also Resident Evil 8-inch is all first person. And this is over the shoulder third person shooting. It kind of looks half-assed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the reports or the remakes or the redos or the HD versions of Resident Evil 5 look better than this. It's a different art style, but still, I don't know what they're going for this. I don't know if they want to establish an online community of people that play this. They've had success in the past with games like this, but it's mercenaries. That's where their online community lives, and I feel like if they titled it Mercenaries and they do whatever they do in Mercenaries to a bigger, grander form, that would be appreciated in a better sense than call this, Reverse or Resident Evil Verse. It's so confusing. Just call it Mercenaries. Resident Evil Mercenaries. Just call it Mercenaries. There was a whole game called Mercenaries for the 3DS, I think, that came along with Revelations and all that. So that I found that to be weird. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not even interested to even try it out. That's not what I want. I want the scary first person Village shit. It looks fucking dope. I sat there thinking, am I gonna pre-order this shit? And nah, I'm not pre-ordering anything in 2021. I'm gonna wait for reviews and then make a decision on whether or not I want to play it, because 2020 fucked me hard, fucked me in a wheelchair. That was not fun. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't cool. So I'm excited for Resident Evil Village. I wasn't before this showcase. The showcase got me pumped. It looks really good. It looks scary. It looks fun. It looks great. It's the same character, so there's some correlation between the two. It looks great. There is also a partnership between them and Ubisoft, where in the Division 2, you'll be able to use Resident Evil gear. Dress yourself up as Claire. Dress yourself up as Leon. I think there were some weapons, custom stuff. So that's pretty cool. You don't see many crossovers like this where, I don't want to disrespect them, I call them smaller games, but there are smaller games, smaller franchises partnering with each other. I'm trying to think and I can't. Yeah. But stuff like this, I like. Because it's Ubisoft and Capcom. They have nothing to do with one or the other. There's no meshing. They're just like, yeah, we're friends. Yeah, but yeah, you want to play as Leon over here? Kinda? Come on, we can do that. All right, cool. They also touched upon Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. This is the Netflix movie. I can't remember if it's a movie or a series. All that shit blends together. I want to say movie. 3D CGI movie where you play as Leon, and I think he was running around in the woods and he comes across Claire, I think. Well, they gave a little more information as to what the hell this is. This is going to take place after Resident Evil 4. I'm pumped for this. There's only that one trailer we saw sometime last year. No information on it. They didn't give a release date either, which is fine. That's cool. As long as it comes out before this movie, which would make sense. Build up hype, build up that Resident Evil fandom, and then you drop this movie. The other way around. You build up hype, build up fandom with this movie, and then you drop your game. But so far, very good showcase of Resident Evil. Is around 20 minutes. It's on YouTube. You can go check that out. I like studios doing showcases of their own now, which is, I kind of like it and I kind of don't, because I love E3. That's my favorite time of the year. You just whole weekend of trailers and shit. It's my favorite shit. It's my favorite, just to watch all the shit. And the Video Game Awards kind of took that mantle this year and kind of took that responsibility of like, oh, we're going to release a bunch of shit. But I like that just randomly studios are like, oh, we're going to drop the showcase and show you what the hell we're doing. I like it. Capcom fucking stuck in there, man. I'm not saying like they're going to die or anything at one point, but when Capcom started, I believe, can't remember which one started, but you got Capcom and you got Capcom with Street Fighter, and you got Acclaim with Mortal Kombat. And that was a war in the 90s. And I was a Mortal Kombat guy. I think I still am Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter, even though the best game out of those two franchises is on the Capcom side. My favorite Capcom game, Marvel vs. Capcom was pretty good, even though it's kind of cheating, but still, Marvel vs. Capcom is probably better than any Mortal Kombat, I think. And also, there's this little PlayStation 2 game that came out from Street Fighter. I think it's Street Fighter XE3, I think it's called. Bubbles and I play that shit. We don't know how to play. We button mash, but stuff comes up on the screen. The characters that they somehow abandoned for some reason. I don't know why they abandoned Arya. She was dope. I forget the other name of the Indian lady, Priyanka or some shit like that. She was dope, but you just never saw her ever again. It was pretty sad. But yeah, my original point is that Acclaim and Capcom kind of came up not together because Capcom also was putting out stuff like Mega Man upon other things. But I felt like Acclaim went to another route. I think they were also doing movie games. I'm 100% talking out of my ass. So if I'm wrong at any point, please go yell at me in the comments. But what I was trying to say is that Capcom came out of that fire, and like, it's still Capcom. We're still Capcom. What you gonna do? Capcom is huge, and it beat out Acclaim studio wise, even though there probably are more Mortal Kombats than Street Fighters. But Capcom also has fucking Mega Mans, also got Devil May Cry. They also have other studios, Resident Evil, which is probably the biggest thing ever that they have. But they have these little pockets of properties that are fantastic, while Acclaim moved on and they started their own studio in the Nether Realms, and they only have Mortal Kombat and Injustice, even though Injustice is probably top 5 greatest fighting games of all time. Fuck you, fight me in Injustice. I feel like Capcom stuck in there. Like, I think of Capcom and I think of Sega. Sega went to a different route of working on hardware. I wonder if Capcom ever thought of hardware, or they were just like, nah, we're just gonna make games, man. The logo is so iconic. They're kind of similar to the Sega logo, but Capcom logo is iconic. I can hear the Street Fighter. And you see the Capcom bling, a lot of blings in the 90s. I just wanted to give a shout out to Capcom. They're great. Everything they put out is great. Okay, that's probably not true. There's probably a couple garbagios in there. But as of recently, everything they've put out is pretty dope. The Mega Man collections, the fucking Devil May Cry 5 was pretty dope. They have their little core of little pockets of projects that are properties that are really, really great and do probably very, very well for them. they partnered with Nintendo, and you got these characters in Smash. I just wanted to give a shout out to Capcom. It was really great. Yeah, I'm happy for Resident Evil. I converted. I wasn't a Resident Evil guy. I didn't really give a shit about Resident Evil, to be honest. It wasn't until probably Resident Evil 4, we talked about this a little last week. Resident Evil 4, you just hear, it was word of mouth. Oh, Resident Evil, Resident Evil, Resident Evil. Because I was too young. I was kind of scared to dip my toe in the Resident Evil universe when I was like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. 24. It didn't interest me, but 4 for the Wii, I was like, okay, I want to see what all this fuss is about. Then I started to get it. But strangely enough, it was right at that point when I got into Resident Evil that their whole formula changed. They became more of an action zombie shooter and strayed away from the scary zombies with 5. There's zombies in it, there's scary moments, but there's more actiony run away because the lab is going to blow up action movie. Even with the movies, the first couple movies I didn't see. I think the first one I saw was in the theater with Felix in the high school gang. Shout outs to them and Felix. I think it's Apocalypse. And those movies are terrible. I would like to do like a Resident Evil movie night thing. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah. Monster Hunter is also a Capcom property, and that's another one that just keep chugging along. It's because I thought of Mila Jovovich, and then I thought of Resident Evil, and then I thought of Monster Hunter, this terrible movie that's coming out, and then I thought, it's just my brain. Pause. Now I lost my train of thought. I forgot where I was. They deviated from their scariness, and then even 6 was even worse in that sense than 5, where it was more actiony than scariness. And then 7 brought it all back, and they even changed the whole deal with it being first person. So kudos for them to changing and revitalizing everything. Not everything. Changing their gameplay within the same universe. That was the big thing that it didn't like the very first time I picked up Resident Evil, is that corner stationary camera and those tank controls. Those tank controls, Jesus, no fucking mamas, I can't. I'm still afraid. I've got the Origin collections with the first couple games, and I haven't picked it up, other than because it's on the Xbox, but because those tank controls will drive me crazy. So I started with tank controls. On 4, you do over the shoulder. Between 4 and 5, it's still over the shoulder. Between 5 and 6, Revelations comes out, which now you can walk and shoot at the same time. Then 6 comes out. They didn't really do a whole lot. A lot of people didn't like 6. I didn't mind 6. There was different storylines. In 6, you can play different characters and pick up different stories. In 7, you come in with the first person. That's a whole different thing. There's iconic scenes in there, like the dining room table, the dinner scene. That's iconic right now. Everybody remembers that who's played it. Felix hasn't played it. Shame on you. I think you haven't played it. Shame on you either way. And now this one you're coming back with the same formula, not really changing a whole lot of things. They're implementing the crafting, which was kind of a little bit with the red, green marijuana plants that it's been dragged along since forever. I really just wanted to give a shout out to Capcom. They're pretty cool. I don't like everything they do. I don't care about Monster Hunter, but Resident Evil, I don't even care about Mega Man that much. But Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, those are pretty fucking dope. And there's a Devil May Cry anime series out there too. Was there a Mega Man animated series, or did I just made that up? But I could see Mega Man having an animated series. They're very series friendly. And now with Resident Evil Infinite Darkness coming around, good fucking job, Capcoms. All right, I mumbled enough. It was a whole hour for y'all. So yeah, that's what's happening. That's what happened this week. Leave a comment down below if y'all are stoked for the Village or every Resident Evil 8-age. Does Five Nights at Freddy movie Willy Wonderland looks completely 100% stupid? Are you stoked for it? What's good? Do you have an Xbox Live Gold, or do you have a Game Pass, or do you have neither? Do you pay for Netflix, or do you smooch? Shout outs to all my smoochers out there. Anyway, Oh yeah, give me your casting for Willy Wonka. That's all I really want. Who do you cast for as Willy Wonka? Young as Willy Wonka. Anyway, my show's socials is at Edward Perazas, Paurazas on Instagram. You can follow Bubbles at Alex_Mac211. You can follow Felix at Jafel91. Go subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. Hit the notify bell to get notified when I drop new videos. What You're Doing is on Wednesday. These podcasts drop usually Sunday. Maybe other things in the works. Leave a comment if you don't like this shit. Roast me about my bed. Whatever the fuck you want. It's all cool and dandy. If you want to tell me that I take too long to get a written outro, that's fine too. I'm losing my voice and I gotta go watch Conor McGregor knock somebody out. Probably. I don't know. Is he gonna knock out? I don't know. This is literally an hour before that happens. I'm gonna say that he wins in round 2. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. By the time you're watching this, you already know I could be completely 100% wrong. I don't know. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay, always, I love you guys. Always and forever, you do you. Mumbles McGee. Bye. Goodbye. I love you. Bye. I don't know what else to say. I never.